We started out the day at the top of on a ridge over the top of Georgian Bay, and we were watching the sunrise. It was spectacular. Rather enjoyed that.
So this is where we stayed last night, in the shelter of the Start Hut at the top of the ski hill. We don't necessarily endorse this. It is private property, so if you do stay here, do it respectfully. But it was pretty sweet. The wind was enough to keep the bugs away, and when we woke up in the morning, we looked out the front of the start gate, and there was the sunrise over Georgian Bay.
And once we packed up early, we left around 6 in the morning, we zipped along the ridge and into the forest and then continued on for quite some time. It's day 2 of part 2, and it's a little before 6 o'clock. The sun has just come up, the morning is beautiful, the birds are chirping, and it's a great day. Say good morning, Chris.
Morning, Chris.
We're off.
It was a glorious morning. Typically our MO is we don't have breakfast at the campsite. We wait for about an hour down the trail until we find a good spot to set up and have breakfast. We started out the adventure with myself cold soaking. So I would pull out my pot, put in some cold water and soak up my porridge. And Chris would pull out the stove and cook up a hot breakfast and a hot cup of coffee. If I chose to have a coffee, I would make a cold camper latte, instant coffee and some hot water with some powdered milk. After a few days of this, Chris would abandon his stove and hot food and mail home his stove, and he would cold soak as well for the remainder of the adventure.
We've done a lot of road walking today, and we're back in the woods, feeling good. Stopping for a bit of a chafing break, something that's very important to maintain on the trail. A little bit of baby cream.
It was such a great morning. We were just plowing down the trail with our head down, and we missed this right turn blaze.
We took a wrong turn and we got lost. We were probably off course. We were estimating close to 5 kilometers. We did unnecessary mileage. So from that point forward, I pretty much put down the camera and then we just honkered down and we just put in some heavy-duty hard miles.
After missing that right-hand turn, we went straight at that point, and we eventually did a large loop, ending up back where we started at the beginning of the day. When we figured that out, we shook our heads and just put our head down and went. All in all, despite the fact we spent long hours on the trail today, there wasn't a lot of ups and downs, not a lot of tough terrain, but there was a lot of road work, and I have to point out, road work is not our favorite. A little easier on the quads, but not so good on the feet. Despite the fact we got lost today and spent about 12 hours on the trail, we always took time for our breaks.
So we're here at the end of the day, did way more than we thought. Certainly the wrong miles as well. So that's pretty much the story of day 2. And that was it. Great, beautiful weather, but yeah, we got lost.
We ended up finishing day 2 just outside of Eugenia Falls, so we gave the proprietors of the B&B a phone call. They came to pick us up, and then we had an enjoyable, luxurious night at the bed and breakfast. On day 2, we hiked from the Blue Mountains to Eugenia Falls.